Hey guys, it's Omer from MMOs.com. Another quick weekly news recap of all major MMO news and announcements of the week ending August 13th, 2018. This is episode number 160 of the recap, and the first bit of news this week comes from Perfect World Entertainment and involves a brand new MMO called Torchlight Frontiers. Though to be fair, they're calling it a shared world action RPG instead of an MMO, but it's basically an MMO. Previous Torchlight games only had very basic multiplayer, but Torchlight Frontiers promises much more. The game is being developed by Perfect World Entertainment's newest game studio titled Ectra Games, which is being led by Max Schaefer, who is co-founder of both Runic Games and Blizzard North. Players get a chance to try Torchlight Frontiers at Gamescom and PAX West, but beyond that, we have no release dates just yet. We don't even know if the game will be free to play or buy to play, but regardless, I'm excited for this one, as Torchlight was very well received. And next up, Monster Hunter World finally launched on the PC this last weekend, and it's off to an incredible start. The game hit an all-time peak concurrent player base of 330,000 or so, and it's been gaining momentum throughout the weekend. Now, I expected the game to do well on the PC because it did well on consoles, but given the gap between PC and console release dates, I didn't think it would be this much of a hit. But regardless, good for them. I'm glad to see Monster Hunter World doing so well. The biggest problem at the moment seems to be the connection issues, which is understandable given how popular the game is at the moment. It's one of the most played games on Steam. And despite being a full price game at $60, it's definitely worth it. Next, the official Black Desert Remastered event took place in South Korea last week, and we finally know all the details about the upcoming remastered launch. It'll be free for everyone who owns the game. It'll be launching on August 22nd with new and improved visuals as well as audio. And besides just the new graphics, Pearl Abyss also announced a new playable class, the Male Ranger, as well as a new territory called Oradilta, along with a ton of other updates. All we know for sure though is that the graphic and audio remaster updates are coming on August 22nd. The new class as well as other goodies are coming at a later unannounced date. And we read along, the Guardians of the Sky update for Tera is launching tomorrow on August 14th, and with it comes a new flying missions as well as mounts. To be more specific, we'll be getting 2 new Guardian Legion missions as well as 3 new Dragon mounts. It's not a huge update, but it's always good to see these smaller regular updates. Tera is available on Steam and averages about 1,300 or so players on that platform alone, so it's doing fairly well still, despite its age. Next up, Guardians of Ember is being picked up by Gameforge, and in case you don't remember this one, Guardians of Ember is an isometric action MMORPG similar to games like Path of Exile or Diablo. It's made by Runemaker Entertainment, the same company behind Runes of Magic, and it was available as a buy-to-play game. It's actually still available, but it is changing publishers. The official handover happens on September 1st, and there won't be any kind of wipes. I think one of the main reasons that Guardians of Ember never really attracted a big player base was because it was buy-to-play. So when Gameforge picks it up, they'll probably make it free-to-play, but we aren't sure about that just yet. But I think it'll be free-to-play, and I think it'll be doing a lot better as a free-to-play game. Next, MapleStory's lab server officially went live this last week, and it's a spicy update. For a limited time, players can play on a special lab server. They can try out new systems and server rules. The current lab world features a hardcore style of gameplay, where a single death means your character's level and stats reset back to level 1. On top of all that, monsters have twice the HP and 5 times the stats, so it's going to be quite a challenge. To make things even harder though, potions have a 10-second cooldown, so you can't simply just spam them when you're in danger. The lab server is a temporary one and runs until August 28th, and players who try it and make progress get special rewards on their main server as well, so it's worth checking out. I know I plan to. Next up, Dual Universe Online announced they're launching into alpha sometime in November, and also released their release roadmap, which shows all the key release milestones. Dual Universe is a crowdfunded sci-fi sandbox MMO that raised over $11 million to date, including over $600,000 through a Kickstarter back in 2016. This is a highly ambitious title that I'm quite a bit skeptical about, and I don't recommend funding it, but I am keeping an eye on it. The game aims to deliver a second lifestyle experience where players can literally edit the game world and write custom scripts into the game. It sounds cool, but we're going to have to wait and see if this is actually possible and what they come up with. Next, Moonlight Blade finally launched on Steam this last week and is off to a pretty decent start. The game's been averaging about 1,300 or so players online so far, which isn't too bad. Moonlight Blade itself isn't exactly a new game though. It's been out since November of 2017, making it almost a year old. If you like Diablo-like games, this one is worth checking out. It's kind of like Diablo, but with an actual persistent MMORPG world. And speaking of Steam launches, Revelation Online also launched on Steam this last weekend, but it's off to a pretty weak start, at least compared to Moon Legend. Revelation has only been averaging about 140 or so users online at any given time on Valve's platform. Anyone who plays on Steam, though, is eligible for a free welcome pack, which includes an exclusive title and a special pet. I personally like seeing all these MMOs launch on Steam, as it makes playing them a lot more convenient. And speaking of convenience, Discord launched a beta version of their own store, which aims to compete with Steam. So far, no one's been able to dethrone Steam or even come close to it, but given how popular Discord already is with gamers, I think they actually have a decent shot. I think the reason Microsoft Store or the Amazon Game Store couldn't compete was because Steam had all of the community features built in, and everyone was already on Steam. Discord is on equal footing here, if not an advantage, since all the community features on Discord are actually more robust in my opinion. In fact, I almost never use Steam Friends anymore. I'm almost exclusively on Discord for basically all my interactions. Problem is right now they don't have too many games on the Discord store just yet, but this could one day threaten Steam. Next, Hearthstone's Boomsday Project expansion launched this last week, and anyone who logs in now gets 3 free Boomsday Project booster packs and a random Clash Legendary minion. And as with every previous expansion, players can expect a ton of new cards as well as some new mechanics. I haven't played too much Hearthstone in a bit, but it's always worth logging in for those freebies. And next up, a small bit of news for Elsword Online. The game launched the new Vandermeer raid this last week, which is a 3-part raid located in the Demon Realm. New dungeons are only available for players at least level 99, with over 250,000 combat power. And besides the new raid, the game also added a weekly raid ranking system where players, the top 100 players each week, get rewards for doing well in the raids. Elsword has also been pretty good with releasing tons of smaller updates. Despite its age, the game is still fairly popular. Moving right along, we have a small bit of news for Moonlight Blade. Nexon reported their Q2 2018 earnings report this last week, and besides the fact that Nexon makes a lot of money, they did list Moonlight Blade on their coming soon area in their pipeline for Western release. So this is the first time we kind of have a tease of Moonlight Blade making it to the West. It's a Chinese developed MMORPG. We don't have a release date just yet, but we do know at least now it's kind of on Nexon's radar to eventually launch this game here in the West. I know it's not much, but at least they're making progress towards this one here in the West. Next and last bit of news this week is a spicy one, and just another reason why mobile games are taking over the world. Final Fantasy 15, A New Empire, the mobile strategy game that literally is just a reskin of Game of War and Mobile Strike, makes more money than every Square Enix PC MMO combined. So this one mobile game made $380 million so far since its release 13 months ago, whereas Final Fantasy 14, Final Fantasy 11, and Dragon Quest X combined only earn about $280 million a year. I find that pretty mind-blowing. It wouldn't be so bad if this was actually a half-decent game, but New Empire is literally just a pay-to-win cash grab that's a reskin of 2 previous other mobile games. Given its crazy success though, I expect more mobile strategy games like it to be launching. Anyway guys, that's it for MMO News this week. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the podcast. Should be fun. We got a lot of spicy drama to cover tomorrow.